The Sports Talk Recruiting Report is sponsored by Seawell's Catering.
All right, time to give you tonight's recruiting report right here on Sports Talk. It is brought to you by Seawell's. Let's check out what's happening tomorrow at Seawell's. Usually a roast beef Friday, but it's a little bit different this week. Josh, what do we got?
Barbecue chicken, lasagna, and fried flounder. Sounds great.
Fried flounder, right from the Congaree. Had some special flounder, no question about it. Enjoy yourself. Let's don't make fun of the flounder. The flounder's fine.
It's good flounder.
They have high-quality flounder, okay? So that's a great meal. It's tomorrow from 11 till 2 at Seawell's. The price is right. You can't beat the price. $14.50. That's a terrific price for a buffet where you can just load up and get yourself a ton of food. So go enjoy over at Seawell's tomorrow. And with things coming up this fall, you're making your plans. Make sure you include Seawell's from the catering side of things and let them handle your special event as only they can. That phone number is 803-771-7385 and online at SeawellsCateringSC.com. Okay, catch you up on some notes. And if I'm repeating a note or two here, bear with me. For those who might have been in and out the last couple of days, that happens during the summer where people are in and out for vacation and stuff. Clemson target wide receiver Samari Reed of Coconut, Florida, has set July 3rd for his commitment announcement. He has Clemson, Kentucky, West Virginia, Penn State, Ole Miss as his top schools. He made his official visit to Clemson first weekend of the month. He also visited Clemson as well as the other finalists earlier in the year. And last season, Reed had 56 catches, 1,311 yards, and 15 touchdowns. So this is one that Clemson would like to get. Cortez Mills, right now, there's really three receivers they're going hard after now. It's this kid, Samari Reed, there's Cortez Mills, and there's the recently offered Dylan Alfred, who just picked up an offer from Miami today. So those are the three receivers Clemson is eyeballing, hoping to get a couple of those here sooner than later. Meantime, last night, of course, we had this on the show, but I'll repeat it. Clemson target offensive guard Max Buchanan, Sanford, Florida, committed to Miami. We actually carried his commitment announcement live on the show last night. So this was obviously a disappointing recruiting loss for Clemson. Made his official visit to Clemson the first weekend of the month. He also made official visits to Ole Miss, UCF, Florida State, Penn State, and Miami. In a story with the father of offensive tackle David Sanders of Charlotte, highly regarded offensive tackle, who visited Ohio State last weekend, Letterman Row, a Buckeye-centric website, reported that Sanders has Ohio State, Georgia, and Tennessee as his three favorites. Sanders also made official visits to South Carolina, Clemson, Nebraska, and Alabama. And Sanders plans to take the month of July, or at least most of it, to hash out a decision with an announcement before his season. So he visited South Carolina back in April. I think the Gamecocks have just lost some traction with him over time. And he visited Clemson on their big official visit weekend, first part of June. That's when Clemson usually gets their deals done. But he had many more visits to take, and apparently the Tigers have lost some standing with him as well based on this story. USC target running back Jeffrey Overton of Virginia is set to announce tomorrow at noon. It's Maryland, Virginia, and Virginia Tech as his three official visits. So the Gamecocks are going to find out tomorrow if they're going to pick this running back up, who's a quality running back, 5'11", 187, out of Woodbridge, Virginia. And early on, it looked pretty good for South Carolina with him. But as he's taken other visits, South Carolina was his first, the first weekend of the month, then Virginia, Maryland, and Virginia Tech. So don't know if the pull to stay close to home is going to be more of a factor here, or if South Carolina can pull this one off. Noon tomorrow on that one. All right. USC target, defensive tackle Eric Thomas of Lehigh Acres, Florida, committed to Syracuse. This actually happened Monday night or Tuesday night. What is today? Thursday. I think it was Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday night. Because we had talked to him on Monday, and it sounded like it was going to be a little while before he would make a decision. He made his official visit to USC last weekend. He spoke highly of the Gamecocks coming off that trip. He had visited Syracuse earlier in the month, so the Gamecocks lose out on a top defensive line target there. Offensive lineman Hunter Taylor of Greenville High School committed to Furman. I think he had a PWO offer from South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. 2026 wide receiver Donovan Murph of Irmo was offered by Arkansas. All right. Before we give you some other notes from other sports, let's check out what's coming up as far as announcements are concerned. Take a look at what's next on the board. So Jeffrey Overton, running back, tomorrow. On the 29th, Anquan Fagan, safety, Clemson target, is scheduled to announce. On the 30th, Clemson target Gregory Thomas, scheduled to announce. Thomas is like Clemson and Florida State. And, Clemson's felt good about it for a while, but Florida State got the last visit with him. So we'll see what happens there. Hardy Watts on July the 1st. This was a big one for Clemson as they try to complete their offensive line group after missing on Buchanan. They still feel pretty good, I think, about the three that they've gotten. Watts would round that out to the four that they want and would like to have in this class. And even having missed on Buchanan, if you end up getting Watts, you feel pretty good about things, I'd say, if you're Clemson. Mentioned Samari Reed, July 3rd. USC safety target, Jadon Blair, on July the 5th. Just visited Penn State. Went to Notre Dame as well, of course, South Carolina. USC center target, Isaac Sowles. I think it's probably going to be either them or NC State, South Carolina or NC State. Maybe Kentucky in there as well. He announces on the 18th of July. Cortez Smith, offensive tackle, South Carolina's been recruiting, announces on the 20th. Bryce Davis, Clemson and USC target at defensive end. He's set for July the 20th. USC target, safety Lagonza Hayward, is set for July 27th. So that's what's ahead as far as players who have stated their plans for announcing over the next month. That's what we've got. All right, a few other notes for you. Baseball-wise, just to catch up on things again, Clemson lands Purdue transfer first baseman Luke Gaffney, 6'2", 215, and he was the Big Ten Freshman of the Year after hitting .349, 13 homers, and 65 RBIs. Georgia transfer left-hander Jarvis Evans, 6'4", 216, is headed to South Carolina. He appeared in 16 games this season, 8 starts, 3-2. 5.49 ERA. Today, Campbell transfer infielder Charles Maglio committed to the Gamecocks. CAA all-freshman team after batting .275, 9 homers, and 26 RBIs. Former Clemson pitcher Billy Barlow, according to Gators Network on X, made a midweek stop at Florida. So they keep an eye on that possibility. Left-hander Dawson Newman of Chesapeake, Virginia, flipped his commitment from Longwood to Coastal Carolina. He's a high school player. Had been committed to Longwood. He flipped to Coastal. And basketball, 6'1", Ego Marquier of Ontario has the USC women in her top 12. The others are Michigan State, Kentucky, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, UCLA, UConn, Michigan, Louisville, Vanderbilt, Duke, and North Carolina. All right, there you go with what we have right now tonight in recruiting, brought to you by Seawells. Remember to check out our recruiting information on our website, sportstalksc.com. Also check it out on X at SportsTalkSC.